Let's go right into the Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopes fight. John, this is going to be a fun fight, man. A very fun fight.
It's one of those fights you look at and it's like, man, there's so many ways this fight can go. But Volkanovski has been a phenomenal champion, but he has hit a skid. There's no doubt about it. You can't sit there and try to sugarcoat it. He's had one win since 2022. Okay, that's and that was against Yair Rodriguez, and nothing. And you have to put a little asterisk by that in saying, yeah, but look at who he's fought. He fought the other guys he fought at that time are Islam Makhachev twice, and then Ilia Topuria. So it's not like he's not fighting the very best. So yeah, he's in that position of he's the maybe though, and maybe he's okay now. Maybe he's gotten past the damage that he took, in his last couple fights. Maybe he has, rehabbed himself, and the effects of the knockouts are now, not going to bother him, and he's going to be able to take a shot. Maybe he's that same guy that we've seen in the past, just go out there and dominate people. But now there's a maybe with Volkanovski, and he's got to go out and prove that, nope, there's no maybe. I'm the same guy.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure on him. I don't think there's as much pressure on Diego Lopes. I mean, this is a big deal for Diego Lopes in terms of winning the title. I just don't think there's as much pressure on him as there is in Volkanovski. Look, it's not just about the fact that he was being considered to be probably the best 145-pounder ever, with his win over Jose Aldo, his win over Max Holloway 3 times, I believe. He's got all these wins against the best guys, and then challenged himself and went up and tried to fight Islam.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it done. Both times. One time to a decision, the other time to getting finished. And then turning around and fighting too soon and fighting Ilia Topuria and getting finished again.
Yeah.
There's tons of questions to be answered, but I think not even
a lot of maybes.
You say there's maybes. I say there's questions to be answered, but not just by us. He's got these questions in his own head, which scares me a little bit. But that's what concerns me. He's in his mind. I don't want to say doubting himself, but he's wondering, am I going to hold up? Is my chin going to hold up? Am I going to be able to fight like I used to fight before I fought Islam the first time? Or when I did fight Islam the first time? He had a spectacular performance against Islam. Can I get back to that level? Can I fight with that kind of confidence? Will I be hesitant when I get hit? Will I stop and pause? Will I freeze? Those are all questions that need to be answered. Can I handle the power of Diego Lopes in the first 2 rounds?
That's another question.
And those are all questions that are going through his mind. He's got these questions himself. He wants to know if he can return back to his true form of the Islam, one fight and previously before all those other fights. That's only something that can be answered on Saturday night.
It is, but if let's say that you are his training staff, how are you game planning for him? What's your game plan for this fight?
John, it's so hard for me. I would say leg kicks and stay away.
Okay. See, I agree with you. I would tell him, look, I don't want you to engage in any big time, exchanges. Leg kicks like you did in the first Max Holloway fight. Stay away, move. I don't care if you win the round. I just want you to frustrate him. I want you to give him a look and then take it away. I want you to move. I want you to just little shots, pick him apart a little bit. If you lose the round, doesn't matter. But I want you to get him into the 3rd round. And I only need you to win 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And so the first 2 rounds, I'm really going to look at and say, you know what, we're gonna make sure that we don't take the big shot. We're gonna sit there and we're gonna be a little bit frustrating. We're gonna make him work, at a pace that is pushing him as much as we can. But I'm not gonna look at trying to get this kid out of there in the first couple rounds. If this fight ends in the first couple rounds, it's going to be Diego Lopes winning this fight.
Does that what you're telling me though, is that give him the confidence of feeling like his team believes he can win? That's the problem with having these kind of conversations with your fighter.
Well, it is the problem, but you got to be honest with your fighter, and you got to say, hey, I need you to go out there and settle in, relax, take it easy. See that, you know what, you're the same guy and you can handle anything he throws. But this is a guy that I know gets tired. He's not like Max Holloway. He's not like Islam Makhachev, or he is like Islam was in the 5th round of that first fight you had. And that's where I want you to push him to. I want you to push him to that point where it doesn't matter what he wants. He's dead. He's tired, and you're just going to roll over him. That's called smart game planning when you're taking a look at it. Power-wise, Volkanovski's had a lot of nice knockouts, but they're, few in between different fighters and stuff, and you take a look at their volume. He volumes people to the point where he overwhelms them. Diego's not that guy. Diego is I brawl and I just hit you with huge shots that put you out. And so in looking at it in the first couple rounds, where's the power going to be? It's going to be in Diego Lopes's corner. He's the guy that's going to have the power. What I need is Volkanovski to be the guy that sits there and understands, yeah, he's got power. I need to be smart. I need to stay at length. He's bigger than me, so that's not easy to do. But when I come in, I throw my attack and I get myself out and I reset and just do it over and over again and frustrate him and then drag him into the big, deep waters. And once he's in the deep waters and I can push his head underneath, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, he's got to be either all the way in or all the way out. He's got to be in kicking range or he's got to be in clinch range. And my only concern with him being in clinch range is that Diego's got a really good arming guillotine and guillotine. And he'll jump guillotine as well. And then he'll go right from guillotine to triangle, which is exactly where Brian Ortega had Volkanovski in a lot of trouble. And so when you're when you're looking back at the past fights where I said like on the midweek or on the weekend show, is he's got issues in that area. And him being with his height and Diego being so tall, it's easier to get that head down, get it right into the guillotine position, that arming guillotine position, and then utilize that to hook, sweep, get to the top position, just like Brian Ortega did.
Yeah.
And so those things concern me when I start thinking about where Volkanovski's at in that first round. He's literally got to be either pressing him to the fence, keeping his head underneath the chin so he can't put his head down into the arm positions, into the guillotine positions, or
all that's good work.
He's got to be all the way out.
Yeah.
And I would agree with you. He's got to drag it into rounds 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. He can't take any damage. But here's the caveat is this though, Jonathan. He's got to really push action in the first 2 rounds to make Diego tired. You can't just run and stick.
No. That's my whole point. You're gonna have to be able to push him as much as you can to get him to that point, because you can't just let him be the one in control and you're the one that's backing off. You've got to create exchanges, but they've got to be smart exchanges. So when you're coming in, you're closing that gap, you're throwing your shots, circling out, getting away, start to recharge that engine for the next attack.
I mean, we're going to find out, man. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.